All right, I'm only going to be in here for one segment, then Jason Bermas, the Infowarrior, is going to be back. So got some important announcements about the show coming up at the end and the film he's working on. I sat there with my laptop computer on, which I never do while I'm eating dinner with my family. I try to at least take that time out every night to spend with my wife and children. But I did have the laptop on watching C-SPAN as the votes were prepared to be cast today with the global carbon tax initiative, the iron grip of tyranny. It makes every form of government tyranny ever seen pale in significance. It is scientific dictatorship, controlling every facet of our daily lives, every facet of business. There's the way the bill was passed, all of it. But I saw that witch, Nancy Pelosi, with fake love go up right before the vote, and you could tell she was totally full of herself, arrogant, hateful. She was breathing in the power and the butchering of this country. These are parasites. They love sucking off you. They love stealing. They use government to steal from the people, the poor, the working class, the middle class, and funnel it to themselves. And I knew then, I said, oh, my God, it's going to pass. They were saying it was going to be a neck-and-neck vote. 8 Republicans voted for it. The bill was carried by 7 votes. So if those 8 Republicans wouldn't have voted, or if 8 more Democrats wouldn't have gone along with it, the bill would have gone down. If it would have been a tie, Joe Biden would have come in and broken it. So we needed 8 people to go against it, and magically they got the 8 they needed to see that it passed. And the Republicans weren't fighting this as hard as they should have. They're clearly involved in it. The NFL, the big golfing leagues, Nike, all the big energy companies, they're all in line. Years ago, they were saying it's bull, it's made up, it's the global warming's man-made, but they've been told to get in line, to say it's real. It's the new global tax, and they're all behind it. And so many people that understand that global warming is not made by human activities, that it's driven by the sun and a few other things. So many people that knew it was a fraud and a lie and a horrible power grab couldn't believe that this was going to pass. And I kept telling people, this is it. Everything's going to pass. The Federal Reserve is going to be made financial dictator of everything. That's publicly in the LA Times, New York Times, but they say it's a good thing to save us. From a hot dog stand to a car dealership to the shopping mall to a barber shop to a factory to a farm, the Federal Reserve, anything financial, no judge, no jury, no Congress, they rule. And that's the regional governorship for the new financial world dictatorship openly being announced, the new bank of the world you pay your carbon taxes to. They've bankrupted the planet by design. They've set up their police states, their control grids, their bureaucracies to do this. They're going to pass their Clean Water Restoration Act to federalize every square inch of the United States, because it says all water above ground, below ground, every area has water below ground. It says no judge, no jury. They just take your property if they want. They come on your property if they want. I've watched them in Austin use this locally to steal 20-plus thousand acres from landowners and not pay them. In the last 12, 13 years, I've been fighting them here. Called SOS, Save Our Springs, the aquifer, the water under it. Had nothing to do with that. After they steal the property, they bulldoze everything, hotels, skyscrapers, 5-star salons, spas, golf courses, ranchettes, $5 million homes that the very people that stole the property actually move into themselves. I mean, it's just too sickening. It's off the charts crime. Now, we knew the bill was 200-plus pages long. We read that one, total carbon tax, total takeover, control of farms, ranches, everything. And then they added 1,000 pages and then even more pages, and some pages were put in and some pages were pulled out. We were watching at 3:15, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we have the video. And congressmen, mainly from Texas, but one after the other, would come up and say, may I see the bill, please? And the speaker would say, no, you may not. In fact, Aaron's back there getting the clip ready, trying to upload it. That was on about 3:15. After the show, we were all in there watching it for like 20 minutes, not getting work done, watching it on the screen. You guys were watching. Hartman, what was it like? Turn your mic on to just see congressmen saying, can I read the bill? And they would say, no. There's one copy in committee and you can't see it.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. They were just like, yeah, can we read it? And she said, no dice.
Yeah, that's how America rolls now. Just like Patriot Act, you couldn't read it. Now, 30 minutes before they're about to pass it, Bonner finally gets the 300 pages. And you've got that clip. We haven't played that yet. You played the other one where he read through some of it, and it was just carbon tax over your home, your house, your car, home inspections. Folks, I keep telling you, they've already done it in Australia and Europe. We knew what was in it. And he sat there, and this is the first time he got it, the minority leader. He gets it and is reading it on the floor, and they bitch at him and call it a filibuster. And he just says, okay, so he could have kept filibustering. And I tell you, that's why everybody's saying Bonner's a champion. He could have filibustered for 2-3 days. That's what they used to do in the old days to beat tyranny. I would filibuster for a week to beat bondage on my children. I would. You just got to keep talking. It makes me want to run for Congress, but because, in the House, anybody can filibuster.
And that's what was sickening, because it was the right, sitting there clapping when he would make a valid point and the left booing. And it, again, enforces that false left-right paradigm. This isn't a right or left issue, Alex.
Exactly, and I'm not trying to attack Bonner. Mm-hmm. But the point is he could have kept doing it.
Yeah.
And so he got it 30 minutes before the vote. He filibustered, they called it, for an hour. It wasn't a filibuster. Mm-hmm. He just used the filibuster rule to start it. He just kind of flipped through it and went, oh, my God. Oh, my God. I mean, imagine, no one's seen this. It's worse than anything I even imagined. That's the thing about, they said they're setting up a bank of the world. Congress would waive its authority to it for taxes globally, for setting the rates for the rates of currency values and interest rates. But then they're just skipping that whole step and just saying total financial dictatorship. That bill's racing through. They've openly passed executive orders for forced inoculations. They're getting the population ready for that. They've introduced hate crimes and cyberbullying stuff where if you say you hurt someone's feelings, federal felony, no judge, no jury, you just go to federal prison. I mean, they're building a giant NSA snooping hub in San Antonio in the news, admitting it's to wage war on alternative media and saying they're spying without warrants. And the local news went down and tried to take a photo, and the feds came out and grabbed them and took their stuff away on city property. The feds off their jurisdiction. It's just the country is a third world cesspit. The government is rogue and criminal, and I want everybody to understand something. When you watch the Democrats, it's all this is the future. We're going forward. Jobs, jobs. They go jobs, 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 jobs. It was just like they were talking to 3-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like.
Like you've been bad, baby. And the Republicans were actually telling the truth, but see, they're out of power now. They can play that part. And I'm not saying they're all actually evil, but the point is it's okay to tell the truth now because they're not in power. So Bush put in the police state grid in the name of fighting Al-Qaeda. Conservatives went along with it. Liberals got mad. Now Obama keeps the police state going, but does this. And they keep saying America must lead the way. Yes, for population control. They brag on NPR. They brag on television. They brag everywhere. This is about lowering our standard of living, making us not be as wasteful, teaching us not to live as well, and taxing people in a 20% tax rate at 65 and people at a 40% tax rate at 85%. This is official. And it's going to shut down everything but select industries. When Bonner was reading through the bill, the thing I had a week ago said this, but this was even worse. It kept saying federal boards, federal groups will decide. They will write per case guidelines for your factory, your business. It's over, folks. China, India, Mexico, no carbon cuts. And there's a weird thing if they'll sign on, it's admitted they don't even have to follow it, but then they're going to pay the most of the money back in carbon credits to the IMF, World Bank. And each one of these top globalists, Soros, Gore, others, they all get their private car companies and private carbon companies that then the money's given to. I mean, this is crime so transparent. And watching Pelosi and the other slimes, I mean, they are such clear bank robbing con artists. And it's such a joke. So all this brainwashing when I was in public school, about the earth, now it's dying, we got to do something to greenhouse gases, and scaring us when I remember on the overhead projectors when I was a kid, and all the TV shows and the movies. It's all leading towards this system where governments worldwide decide everything, and it's all selective. And you better watch the Obama deception. Hand that to me, Jason, because in this film, we break down the carbon taxes and go through it from their own words. And already California is getting rid of the tax credit for having kids. The feds are saying it. Australia is already saying a carbon tax on kids, and our news is now saying they want a tax on kids because it doesn't matter. Having kids, everything they do is going to be a carbon tax. And that's why they're saying everything. I mean, folks, it's everything. This is federal regulation of anything and everything. Everything is carbon-based. This paper is. My shirt is. When I exhale 2.5 pounds of carbon dioxide a day, it's what plants breathe. It's the life cycle. This is the ultimate joke.